I really didn't want to record this, but I think it's important to share the truth about some of my experiences at a few of the accounting firms out there. So, I've been working with business owners since 2013. Over that time, I've worked at 4 accounting and bookkeeping firms. And one thing I've noticed is that there is a serious lack of accountability and integrity in a lot of accounting firms. Now, I'm not going to share any names, but I am going to tell you a few stories. When accounting firms are trying to be efficient, they may migrate your data to the cloud, and you may not even be aware of this. So, for example, if you're a business owner watching this and you're running your business on spreadsheets, or maybe you're on QuickBooks Desktop, your data may have been migrated to QuickBooks Online or Xero, and you were never told. I had a front row seat to this. I actually saw this happen at one of the accounting firms I worked at, and I have a serious problem with this. It's your data. It's your property. I just feel like that's really unethical, and you should always be approached first before any migration happens. It's just crazy to me. The reason why this happened at one of these firms is because the individual was just trying to meet a quota. They wanted the promotion. They wanted to look good. They wanted to impress the partner, the manager, the list goes on. The excuses, the justification, it just goes on. So when I was hired at one of these accounting firms and I was filling out all of the new hire paperwork, I was told to print everything out and sign them in ink. There was no way to digitally sign this paperwork. Now, I want you to think about this for a second. I was hired as a cloud bookkeeper. There was no modern option to sign, no app, nothing I could sign digitally. And yet this accounting firm was marketing themselves as really leading the industry when it came to cloud accounting. And it didn't stop there. When we would send out client proposals, client engagement letters, it was all Word documents that typically the clients would have to print off, sign, scan, and send back. It was just awful. So clunky. I just felt it was a horrible first impression. My colleagues and I would literally be huddled around a spreadsheet, trying to figure out the one Goldilocks price. And again, I was thinking there has to be a better way. Why aren't we at least using some more sophisticated software for this? Why aren't we having a pricing conversation with the client initially before we send anything out? It was very bizarre. Also, unfortunately, there was a lot of toxicity in some of these workplaces as well. I witnessed a lot of brown nosing in many of these environments, and personally, for me, I'm just not into that. I'd rather have my results speak for me instead of trying to be best friends with the manager or partner. If I'm nice to you, I'm pleasant to you, it's because I genuinely respect you and I like you. It's really that simple. I don't have an agenda. I'm not thinking to myself, oh, if I buddy up with this person, I'm going to be manager in a year. It's just not something I'm aligned with. It just feels so gross. I can't do it. And there's also something else about the industry. There's a term in the accounting industry called eating your hours. And what this means is there's typically an allocated budget of hours on each client file for each project, basically. So, for example, if the budget is 4 hours to complete a client's monthly bookkeeping and it actually took you 6, you probably should eat those 2 extra hours it took you. This way, you don't get told off by a manager for going over budget. You avoid that awkward, painful conversation. So, you eat the hours. It's a really gross tactic and it's very dishonest. But it's such an epidemic at accounting firms because everyone's doing it. It's so out of control. The last thing I'll say as well is I'm quite a curious person. While I can be a bit quiet and reserved, I genuinely love learning about other people's journeys, what they're up to, what goals they have. It really fills my cup. And so when I was working at one of these accounting firms, I witnessed a conversation with a prospective client and one of the partners. And I thought to myself, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to see a real sales conversation play out in front of me. I was feeling pretty excited. And I knew I was going to learn a lot. And I kid you not, the whole time the partner was talking about just how great the accounting firm was, barely asked any questions to the business owner. And I walked away from that meeting thinking, wait a minute, this is the first time we've really talked to this prospective client, and you just pitched to him about how great you and your team are. This can't be sales. I really thought deeply about this, and I firmly believe that sales is more about listening. It's not about us. Sales isn't actually egotistical. It's truly about service. It's that simple. It's about serving others, listening and seeing if you can solve their problem, if you're the right person to help. It's seeing if you're on the same wavelength. It's seeing if there could be a genuine partnership. But you cannot start the whole relationship by spouting off how great you are. It'll fall on deaf ears and it's just awkward. Now, I don't share these stories because I'm angry or resentful or because I think every accounting firm operates this way, because they don't. I've met some incredible people over the years, people who I call lifelong friends. They're incredibly talented, honest, and caring accountants and bookkeepers who genuinely care and want what's best for their clients. I share these experiences because they've really shaped how Stephen and I built Stelex Solutions and what we continue to build. We both decided very early on that if we were going to do this, that we wanted to do it right, and we also wanted to do some things differently. We wanted transparency instead of surprises. We wanted clear and honest conversations instead of just general assumptions. We wanted to really listen before we offered advice. And also, nothing behind closed doors, no hidden agendas or anything like that. We wanted to use technology the way it was meant to be used, not because it's trendy, but because it genuinely creates a better experience for everyone. I've always said, if there's a better way to do something, if we can save a client time or money, reduce friction, maybe make something easier for them, why wouldn't we do that? But I think the most important thing is we wanted integrity to be something people could actually feel when they meet us, when they talk to us. It's not just a word on our website. It's something I want people to feel in every meeting, every email, every referral, every recommendation, every piece of advice, and every single decision we make. And so I had to record this video today because business owners, I feel, are trusting us with something they've worked incredibly hard to build. They're trusting us with their business's finances. It's really precious to them, and this trust should never be taken lightly. So, if you're a business owner watching this, I would encourage you to ask more questions. Ask why your accountant or bookkeeper recommends something. Ask how your data is being handled. Ask what your options are. A good advisor won't be threatened by those kinds of questions. They'll actually welcome them, and questions are healthy. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's your business, it's your money, and it's your data. You absolutely deserve to work with someone who respects that and treats you and your data with care and respect, and with transparency. These kinds of experiences taught me exactly what kind of accounting professional I never wanted to become. And for that, I'm actually really grateful. These experiences actually gave me a lot of clarity early on of what kind of business I wanted to build with Stephen. I mean, we could have said yes to every single prospective client, but we didn't. We said no very early on, and we still do. Stephen and I want to make sure that we match up with business owners we can genuinely help. It's not a numbers game for us. We're not concerned about helping hundreds of clients. We're prioritizing helping the right kind of clients. And I think that's why we're different from the rest. We're trying to be the people our clients know they can count on. We're honest with them, even when the conversation is difficult. We're accountable and we own up to our mistakes. We say sorry. We're the ones who truly listen before giving any advice. That's a big one for me because, that's quite natural for me and Steven, actually, because we hate when people give us advice without hearing us out first. We genuinely care about helping business owners succeed because the business failure rates are so high. At the end of the day, that's what this has always been about for me. It's not about the numbers, not even about me nerding out to the software or AI. People. It's about the people. If we can help a business owner feel less overwhelmed and more confident and hopeful, then we've done our job.